Hey, good evening. This is Elena, and I just wanted to welcome you to this conversation about how people pleasing can get in the way of your health and fitness goals. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's just been something that I've been learning about my whole life. I'm in recovery from this crazy issue of wanting to make sure that everybody else around me is okay so that I can be okay. Now, being in recovery from this, I believe that the heartbeat of a people pleaser just honestly wants everybody to get along and wants other people to be happy. So, right, nothing wrong with that. I actually think some of the nicest people I've ever met do fall into this category. But the problem is when you're not aware of the way that it affects you negatively, you can really run into some big problems in your relationships, with your health, and your decision making. You actually become unable to make really good decisions for yourself because you've given away parts of yourself to other people. One thing to keep in mind that you don't always hear about with the people pleaser, although there is a lot of good information out there about it now, is that many of us, right, on a continuum, are deal with a lot of anxiety about when we feel far apart from someone. We get this really difficult feeling that's so uncomfortable, and when you're trying to make sure the other person's okay, it's mainly so you can soothe your own anxiety. And to be honest, it's really not a really healthy way to live. So to be able to learn to be okay when other people are not is actually the goal. And really, really difficult, right? Because there's some uncomfortable emotions that come up when you feel disconnected from someone else. So today I just want to talk about some examples of how this can get in the way of you taking good care of yourself and how to be aware of that and then begin to know what it is that you need to be okay. So again, I just defined the people pleaser as someone who has almost like this anxious attachment with other people. And a lot of times that starts back in childhood, where you just wanted to make sure that everybody around you was okay. It could have been that you grew up with in a stressful household, or an angry parent, or a parent you just didn't know what to expect. But some kids are just really sensitive, and this is just what happens inside of them. It may not even be the reality. So it's important to recognize that it's important to know this about yourself, because if you're walking into the world with too much anxiety about what other people think and feel, then you're going to make decisions based off of their feelings instead of yours. So the pleaser has lost a lot of their sense of their own feelings and aren't aware of themselves. So an example of this could be a traditional question of, hey, what do you want to eat tonight? The pleaser's the typical response of, I don't care, whatever you want. And I definitely have said that so many times in my life. But it's begin to be the pleaser needs to become aware of what they actually want, what they actually feel, and be able to speak that into a relationship or a situation without fear that that other person's going to leave them or get mad at them for having an opinion. And they're going to try to overcompensate for that by over-explaining themselves or being way too accommodating. But really, at the end of the day, I've learned that you're just not being honest, right? And you may come by that honestly. So the goal is to understand, okay, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? And what do I need? And that can take a long time to figure out. Another example could be someone who wants to exercise daily, but every time they go to exercise, their partner or friend just kind of doesn't seem super happy about it. And instead of doing what they need to do for themselves, that other person gives it up way too quick, right? Gives up the exercise time, makes sure that kind of tries to close a distance between them and the other person. They go make sure they're okay. They do something they want to do. And by that time, it's too late and the motivation is left to do exercise. So then they're left angry. And a lot of times I've learned that the people pleaser can have some underdeveloped anger where maybe they should have stood up, they should have honored that feeling inside themselves and told somebody, hey, this is what I need right now, and I'm sorry, but you have to wait. Or, hey, could you please take this dinner back? I actually asked for it this way. You can be super nice and super kind and warm, but I think if you don't share how you're really feeling, a lot of times you can become very, very reactionary over time. And so it's really important to honor yourself so that you don't become so angry because no one's really been listening to you. But the problem is you haven't been communicating. So that's something I learned, that I wasn't communicating honestly about what I feel, I think, and I need. And it's impossible to get to know somebody like that. So I wanted to share with you like a couple things to do that could be very helpful for this. So first of all, if you're trying to honor your own body and your own health and your own mental health, one of the first things you need to do is to become aware of your feelings. And this can be done in many different ways. Some people love to journal, other people need to talk this out, maybe find a good counselor, a good friend, good coach to talk about how do I really feel about this situation and what do I need to do next. And so after you understand your feelings, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll give people a feeling word list and have them choose off of that list their feelings, because once we label them, we can really know ourselves and what's going on, and then you can understand, hey, when you can listen to your body, my stomach hurts, it means that I'm anxious. Or when I feel like I can't speak, that means that I'm freezing. Or when my hands go like this, it means I'm really angry. It just makes you mindful enough to listen to the signs of your body. And this promotes a ton of health benefits because it can be very preventative from stressful situations. It can make sure that you're honoring what your body needs to eat, how much it needs to exercise and sleep. There's a lot of really important things that you can do here with just starting out with mindfulness and beginning to be in touch with your body. The next thing you will be able to do with that is after you understand how you feel, and a quick note on that, a lot of times you don't know how you feel because you just need those feelings reflected back to you. So that's a lot of times why counseling is helpful, or a good friend, a good listening friend, because you could say to the person, hey, it seems like this is what you're going through. Is this true? Can you tell me more about this? And then you get to explore, hey, yeah, this is what I feel. And then you can find out, what do you need? And that's how you begin to learn how to set some good boundaries for yourself and with some of the people around you, in order to make sure that you're eating right, you are exercising, you're doing the things you need to do to keep your body out of a stress state. So some of the other ways to be able to find out what you need and what you feel is to do meditation, be in a healthy group, practice different things, but it's very simple to be able to find out what you need, because you want to start out with what you feel. And then you can begin to set boundaries. Now, once you've set some boundaries, after you learn what you feel and what you think, you're going to have some support, because once you tell somebody no, it can be really difficult for the people pleaser to tolerate that feeling that comes with that discomfort that can come with disappointing somebody else. I recently had to disappoint somebody, and it was super stressful for me, and not everybody feels that way, right? So I take it really to heart if I disappoint someone. I'm anxious. I'm just want to make sure that we're okay, honestly. And I have to learn how to tolerate that discomfort, and that's a skill and it's a muscle to build. So it's really important that if you don't know about this concept, that being able to understand learning how to tolerate discomfort is a really important therapeutic goal that you can achieve in many different ways. And when I work with clients, we do something called positive resourcing, and it's honestly a form of trauma work, but it works for everyone, and I use it all the time. It's to build up the ability to have a positive feeling inside of yourself, regardless of the circumstance. It could be neutral, so positive or neutral, and regardless of the circumstance, you can get to that place. The most powerful way to do this is through visualization. The brain is so amazing. It can dream up the worst case scenario, but it can also dream up the best case scenario. So being able to go to a peaceful place is so powerful for so many people, and it's just one of the first steps towards resourcing your body. Other ways to do that, a lot of people like to pray and meditate. That's another way to resource your body, to make sure that it can get to an internal state of peace. Some people love to listen to really beautiful, calming music. Some people, again, I said they pray. I know yoga is very grounding for a lot of people. So it's whatever you can do to feel grounded. Exercise, I think, can be that for a lot of people as well. But one of the best ways that I have found is being able to sit with someone who sees me and knows me and understands me, and can really contain is the word, or hold all my difficult emotions and give me comfort. Look me in the eye, give me a hug, whatever I need in order to help me calm down. That's what that person can help provide me strength for. The last thing I want to say is then to be able to build a community of people who can also be really great comfort and support for you in order as you're going towards your goals that help you become healthy. We become like the top 5 people we hang around, and sometimes you just need to develop a new group of people who want the same things that you want, because if you're trying to change, not everybody in your life is going to be all about that. So you want to find those people who, when you tell someone no and they're really upset with you and you're really anxious, you want to be able to turn to one of your good friends and have them remind you of why you said no. Like, hey, yeah, you want to eat healthy, so that's why you said no to going out to fast food today, and you're doing the right thing, and hey, come on over here, let's go for a walk. And you just need people like that to get you up out of that really anxious feeling or sad feeling when you disappoint someone. So here's just a couple of things to help the people pleaser become healthier and happier. You want to make sure you can feel your feelings and know what you need in order to help you set boundaries. You want to be able to increase your ability to positively resource through visualization, through any kind of work that's working on that internal self and working that muscle. And then you want to build up a really positive, powerful community who understands you, who knows you, who's for you, and can provide you comfort. So thanks so much for listening to this conversation about the people pleaser. I could go on and on about this topic, but really at the end of the day, we have got to be able to manage that anxiety and not guess what other people are thinking and try to close that relational gap. There's so many more ways to show up as honestly in a relationship and have a very honest and pure conversation, instead of trying to do all kinds of things to make sure the relationship is okay at your own expense. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a great night. I hope this conversation was helpful to you. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.